This list is dedicated to characters who get far smaller spotlights than those they stand beside. They deserve love too. Good sidekicks do as they're told. Great sidekicks speak truth to power. Brazen did. Tim Drake did. And when it counts, Ron does it. Does that qualify Ron from Bob's Burgers to be a Robin? Well, no. It just means he has a rightful place on this list and in the conversation.
I don't need a wingman.
Oh no.
Wingman, flying with eagles, wingman. He's trying to help you out. Wingman, 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 wingman.
Dynamic duos pop up throughout fiction time and again. Sometimes their dynamic is steeped in mentorship. Sometimes a union in love, bound by a quest, or kindred in tragedy. No one ever really thought this particular dynamic duo, bound by a sense of adventure, would last, but they've certainly stood the test of time. The story goes, a security robot was working the Metropolis Space Museum. The night its janitor, Michael Carter, decided to steal some antique technology that would allow him to time travel and become a superhero in the past and get rich doing it. In our time, Michael Carter would become known as Booster Gold. He's still using stolen tech to be a superhero in the modern era, but if not for his robotic sidekick Skeets, he would have never survived a single day. Skeets is often a safety net for Booster because of his excellent files on past events, which are current events to everyone else. While somewhat sarcastic, but always helpful and loyal to his friend Booster, Skeets has made the future of the DC Universe better by helping where he can in the past. There are those who might take exception to this next entry, which I would totally understand. The term sidekick seems to clash head-on with the take no prisoners manly aesthetic of the Gears of War franchise. But when you stop to think about it, second in command, sidekick, companion, all those terms have so much in common, they're nearly interchangeable. And if you ask me, from that way of thinking, they all describe Dom to a T. Dominic Santiago was an upbeat, loyal man, a brave cock soldier who eventually lost those so dear to him that he slipped into a deep depression. Yet he carried on. For the sake of the mission, for the sake of Team Delta, until a moment came where the chips were down and all seemed lost. Dom made the ultimate sacrifice, without fear, without hesitation, proudly in service of his brothers in arms. I have no doubt that under the same circumstances, Dwight Schrute would have done the same, as would Commander Riker, or Speedy, or Martha Jones. Yet they didn't make this list and Dom did, because he strikes a chord within me. If you were to name a place and good deed within the vast confines of the Marvel Universe, well then chances are Rick Jones has been there and done that. He's a journeyman, one whose training time was clocked in while fighting the Kree and the Skrulls, going into battle alongside Captain America, and answering the call to trade places with Captain Marvel in the Negative Zone. That's all well and good, but my favorite thing he's ever done is he has been the Incredible Hulk's best friend. His only friend. Their friendship began with a strong guilt-to-need ratio due to Rick's part in the Hulk's origin. but it was solidified by the hardest of times, as Rick looked after Banner. There is this belief in the modern era that the most valuable characters are the ones that can be labeled as badass. Rick Jones isn't badass, he's kind, and that has always endeared him in my eyes. He wasn't there for the entire series, and that's a damn shame. I imagine if he was, well then maybe Al would have won more than he lost. After all, in such a short period of time, Griff made quite the impact. He certainly became a difference maker, ace of aces to Al. By making him more worldly, always being there to fight the good fight alongside him. He stuck his neck out for him, he laughed with him. Time and again, he proved to be a steady hand and shoulder for Al to lean on. I don't think anyone could say Griff wasn't a good sidekick. I mean, it takes a special kind of friend to be sent to death row by their buddies and to be able to laugh it off as a prank. But that's exactly the kind of friend Griff is. So what if he drives a Geo Metro with po' boy vanity plates? And who cares if he's been known to paint his ankles so no one would know he can't afford socks? Big deal. He was a great ally to Al. And that's why he's here, at the top of this list. The characters on this list may not be the strongest, the smartest, or even the toughest. They're not the most badass. But they know what to do when they are needed most, and so this mission statement stands. Sidekicks deserve love too.